Oh, is the stream up? I think the stream may be up. Stream. Hello. Yeah. Hi guys, sorry for that. Hopefully you can hear the music all right. I'm just gonna have a little listen to that. Good. Tell me if it's a bit lo-fi. Damn. Is it this? No. Is it this one? Is it this? No. Oh. I have two people watching. That's probably me and my other self. This one? Anyway. Right. Let's just crack on. Let's not do the countdown because no one likes countdowns. Because that's just a waste of time. Anyway. Right. Let's get to Blender. So, first thing that you do when you open up Blender is you make a default scene. For some reason... Now, the question is, should I use a cube or a sphere to make a burger? And the logical answer is a sphere, but the smart answer is a cube. There we go. There we go. Here we go. We're just going to render, and we're going to go to here. We're going to add a new material, and then we're going to just change this to displacement only. Where is it? Options, settings, displacement only, and my backface culling, or however you say it, has just gone haywire, which was always a good sign for the start of the stream. Anyway, so say hello if you're in chat, probably me and my other self. Anyway, so I do not know what has happened. I think Blender has just crashed. Well, at least that bit's crashed. Yeah, it's not going particularly well today, has it? Go back to the shading. Here we go. Oh, it's the denoising. Get rid of that stupid denoising, because no one likes denoising. Oh, hi Abby. Hello. So I'm gonna make a burger, which is very interesting indeed. I will save this as my default startup file. Save. You can hear me because I've got this music in the background, so it's less boring. But yeah, hopefully you can hear me. All right. Actually, I'll just listen to the stream. Yeah, hopefully you can hear me. Ah, I think that's just the right balance. Yes, definitely veggie burger. I am vegetarian, so I'm gonna do a veggie burger. I don't know if you've heard about I think, was it Apple or one of the emoji, one of the companies changed the emoji so it was a vegan burger because the vegans were complaining. So I'm probably going to make that. Actually, I'm just going to get a reference image up for everybody. Or just for me. And Abby. Oh, and somebody else because someone else is watching. I can hear you fine, that's great. Okay, I'm going to go into here and I'm going to load in a reference image. So I think I just got a burger recently. Like an image of one. How sad. Anyway. .png. Where is burger? I cannot see a burger anywhere. I'm just going to blank out the screen so I can actually find it. Where is it? Where is it? Display capture. There we go. I'll find it and not expose every single one of my files for once. And then I'll load it in. So where is it? Yeah, the actual Blender, what's it called? The Blender file thing that you use isn't actually particularly good because it only displays some files, which isn't very useful. Desktop, maybe I had it in downloads. Right. Ah, there we go. Hamburger. It was in downloads, not in desktop. Like you needed to know that. Anyway, I'm going to open the image, and here we have a lovely burger which isn't vegan, but I can't be bothered to get another image because I want to get on. Right then, it's time for some vector math, people. Or myself. Right, header, I'm just going to get rid of these things because they are not helpful at all. Here we go. Header. Show header. Get rid of that. And here we go. Right, so first thing that we want to do is we want to set up our texture coordinates. And so if we just type in texture coordinates, if I can actually spell, we have our generated coordinates, and you see the origin here is the bounding box, and in this case it is the actual geometry of the sphere, and you see our origin, so the black bit, 0, 0 is there, but we want to shift that into the middle, and because our cube, each vector is evenly distributed, we have to move this on an average of 0.5. So what we'll do is we'll add a vector math node, and basically this add node is by default set to an add operation, and we just scroll down like this and type in 0.5. So we move, sorry, we don't want to add, we want to subtract 0.5, and now you see everything is centered out. And just so we have all the scaling correct, we just want to scale that by 2, and I'm not going to go into why. If you think about it too hard, then your brain will fall out your head, or you could just take my word for it. Anyway, so here we have that, and so we don't have to ever see this ever again, we can do this, Control G, and we will just call this coordinates. Oh no, sorry, we don't want to do that. We want to go like this, and then coordinates, so it's called that. Make that certified, because why not? And we can call this coordinates. So you see here, if we add another texture coordinate node, it actually looks identical to objects, but there are just some, I think it's normal issues with objects. And also, the most horrible thing you could ever do, is in fact use the position nodes, the position output of our geometry, because it does not stick to the geometry. So yeah, don't use that. Use our coordinates that we've generated. Anyway, so now we have that, we have to basically talk about this displacement node or socket thing. So if we add in a vector displacement, so this vector displacement is basically, if I can give you an example, if you just do a combine XYZ, put that into our vector here, and make sure that you have in your options displacement only, not displacement and bump, for reasons. You see, if we slide this along, you see it's sliding on, wait, what? Why is that sliding on the X? I am confusion. What on earth is going, what on earth is happening? What is happening here? Oh my word, what is happening? Oh, well, we'll have to, that shouldn't do, oh, sorry, it's on tangent space. Change it to object space, then add a combine, XYZ, so you've got our X, Y, and Z axes, and what we can do now is we can change, you see, where this is. And that's the whole point of vector displacement, because displacement, or I think it's called normal displacement, but in here it's just called displacement, that actually alters things on the normals, and basically normals are sort of directions of faces. So if you press tab to go into edit mode, and you go on this drop down here, you don't really have to follow along, but this is just as an example. You click on this button here, or yeah, it is that button, I think. Is it? Ah, yes, there we go. You see, it's rather small though, we'll scale that down. You see that there's this line here, which is basically just an indicator of which this, where the face is sort of being directed to. So if we press Alt N, that brings up this normal tab here, but if we press flip, now you see, if we zoom into the cube, that line, don't know if you can see that on stream, but that line is going like that, which means when we do something like shade smooth, it's going to look awful. So don't do that, ever, unless you know what you're doing. And I just realised I am a total idiot because I literally just deleted my cube. Right, let's undo all those steps and hope that I have enough buffer space to actually do that. Otherwise, I would have to do the whole thing again, which isn't very good. Oh, and sorry, because I actually started, I started streaming, and then it crashed, which is very good. So here we go. Do combine XYZ. So we're going to do a separate XYZ. So we plug those all in here. So we're effectively doing nothing, but the moment when we sort of alter these with math nodes and vector math nodes, in between these two things here, that is where we can do some procedural stuff, basically. And now we're going to plug our coordinates into our separate XYZ. So we're using those coordinates. I am really dumb. Oh my god. My mum has just said that my display capture has been off. And I don't know how long that has been for. Because I was talking about... Oh my god. It's been off for like the entire stream. Are you serious? Dear. Oh my god. Oh, it was until I tried to get the reference image of the burger. Because I didn't want to be exposed. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Right, let's go through this rather quickly because I don't want to. So if we press tab into here. So we have our coordinates. This is our generated coordinates. This is the origin here, which is the black bit, 0, 0. We subtract on average 0.5, so we get our basically object coordinates, but it doesn't have our normal issues. Then we scale by 2 to make sure everything is fine, and then we put that into a node group. Then we plug the vector into the separate XYZ. We put that into the combine XYZ, and then we put that into the vector displacement, making sure that we have displacement only and not displacement and bump. And now we can do things with the nodes in between this node and this node. That is the basic gist of it. And oh, that is such a shame, because what I need to do is I need to take the audio from before when I was talking and then just put it over this, and then it would look good. But obviously this is live, so I can't do this. Anyway, right, I'm just checking that everything's working. Well, you know what? At least it has some nice music in the background. I'm just checking that everything's okay, yeah, it's all fine. Right, oh my god. But you see here, now it's scaled by 2, and that's obviously because of this in here. For some reason we have a TMP viewer, I'm not liking that. There we go, vector. Okay, so this is scaled by 2 for some reason, and that's because we did that. So, after the vector displacement, and let's just give that a colour. Actually no, don't bother. We have to subtract the original coordinates. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into... Oh, why is it not letting me go into this group? Oh, here we go. I'm going to set an output for the... Would it be the scale coordinates? We'll have a go. Oh, 2 people! Yay, hello. You know what? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add a vector subtract node, and if you see, wait, what? He's typing subtract and he's getting the vector math. Yeah, that's called a GitHub add-on, basically. Go get that. It's called Node Tabler. It just speeds up your life. Anyway, so plug that in there, and now you see everything is back to normal, because we don't want this to be the final output, because we want to subtract that first before it goes into the displacement socket. And so we are going to just change the colour. I thought I was on a roll. I thought it was all fine, and then I realised that my screen was off. Oh dear. Oh my god. Anyway, so now you see, if we add something like a math node, like that, you see we can shift that on that, or if we do a multiply node, that's going to stretch this out and stuff, which is rather cool. Anyway, let's put that all into a frame, and the way you can do that is if you have, Node Wrangler, you just press frame selected, and then you can give that frame a name. I'm liking these Dr. Seuss rhymes. Anyway, let's just call this output, because this is effectively the output. Control V, Control C, Control V, make the colour less ugly, or more ugly, depending on your colour choice. And then let's just put this as a colour in green to know that this is our coordinates. So what we do now is, actually, if we just, can we just do a reroute node if you have Node Wrangler enabled? Then no, don't do that. Definitely don't do that. Let's just do a reroute so it doesn't get in the way. In fact, okay. No, don't do that. Shift. There we go. And there we go. So everything that we're doing now is coming from here to there. So we don't want to alter anything, basically, is what I'm saying. Or what I'm attempting to say, what I'm trying to say. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to, number one, make these very epic. I suppose you could call them hemispheres. I think that's right. Like a dome, basically, but sort of squished. So what we're going to do is, you see, if we get the the z-axes, so this is negatives, this is positives. If we get that, and we sort of take this and we stretch it upwards using something called a map range, we can basically get this. And before I forget, I will go back into the layout workspace. I'm going to press Ctrl 2, and then I'm going to add adaptive subdivision, which just does something that will take longer than if I just say do it. Okay, I'm glad not many people are watching my streams because I do not know what I'm saying half the time. Anyway, so here we go. Now it looks like a sphere, which is a bit closer to what we want. We're going to take this Z, we're going to add a reroute, and here we go. And then I'm going to add a map range node. So this map range basically converts, I think it's in the converter tab if you press Shift A, converter. Map range, it is a converter. So it converts our values here, and it says, and it automatically says we're going to take that value and we're going to put it from 0 to 1. And so we can actually alter these values, so this is more than 1. So you see, it doesn't really make sense here, but if we plug that back into the Z here, you see we've basically made a dome already, which is pretty sick. But that is because of some certain reasons. So if we do this as if we do this as 0, and we do this as -1, -1. Can I not type today? Oh no, sorry, that's on the minimum. So you have to keep these the same, and then you'll do 0, and then you'll do -1. So now you have this here, and actually, let's add in, number one, a wireframe, so we can check our topology, and also a diffuse, because I don't like principal BSDFs, because they take up too much space. And let's just load in HDRI, so change that to world, and do the normal stuff. Control T, and then do that, and then load in an HDRI. I like turning the strength down a little bit, because sometimes it makes things look a little bit blown out. So let's do something like 0.4 maybe. Okay, change that back to object, and now you see we have a hemisphere on the bottom. Is it called a hemisphere? I swear it is. Well, if you talk about the Earth, then half of it's... yeah. Anyway, so we don't want that, we want that to be 1. So we're saying, take this, if we go onto side view, we're saying take our values from 0, in fact, so the origin, and bring them up to 1. So if we see, that basically does that. So now we have this, we are going to change. Actually, let's view this with our coordinates. So now you see, if we change the maximum value, so basically the top of our hemisphere, we can make it look a bit more like something like that, which looks pretty cool as well. And that is getting slightly closer. And if we want, we can actually add something called an RGB curves, which converts that map range into basically a linear interpolation, which here is set to, I think it's set to Bezier curves. And so here you can basically add points and you can sort of draw, which I think is very amazing. You can see you can sort of draw how this looks. So if we view that with the wireframe, and that looks disgusting, so 0.01, that looks even more disgusting. Let's just use the diffuse button for now. So you see here, it's quite hard to see on the z-axis, like a direct correlation between RGB curves and what mess we have here, which is fair enough, but you just sort of have to figure it out. And so let's actually just use our coordinates from here. So you can see here, this is the outside, that's like that. So actually, if we go to, what would it be? It'd be 1. No, it'd be 2, 3. But basically, you see we've changed that. So if we mute this back on. Oh, sorry, is it buffering? Or is that just my internet being bad? Hopefully everything's fine. But basically, you see we've changed that. Okay, right, I think it's alright. I think it's all fine. Hopefully you're vibing to the lo-fi. Anyway, so you see if we bring this lower than that, that's going to make something very different. So, I think it's going to be something like this. And you can always tweak things from the top. Tweak things like this. There we go. And you see we don't want something completely sharp at the bottom. So you don't want that to be less than 1. That's looking pretty nice. And if we set this to smoother step, okay, no, smoother step, no, that was step linear. That now just looks like a pyramid. Anyway, not a pyramid. What are they called? Anyway, moving on. Map range, so we can still change these max values. What is happening? There we go. So from max, this is the one that we want to change the most, and from min, you see now that's, if I can actually do this correctly, from min, if we make this bigger than 1, oh, it's not, sorry, it's not updating again, as usual. You see this is our origin here, so if we make it bigger than 1, it's going to sort of make it a bit smoother, in very dumbed down terms. So if we just make that slightly, because obviously, well, have you ever seen a burger that has a completely infinitely flat bottom? That is the question of the day, people, honestly. I mean, it's philosophy as well. It's vector math and philosophy on this channel, so stay tuned. Anyway, what am I talking about? Right, so we just have to alter the shape of this, and then we're going to be doing some BSDF nonsense, which will be even more fun. And something has just gone horrendously wrong, which is always very good. Anyway, let's turn this down. Okay, here we go, right. Let's try and get back our original shape. So just want something like that, and the max is going to be... Okay. And the jazz is supposed to... Not the jazz, the lo-fi is supposed to fill in the gaps where I don't talk. Here we go. I think we're getting something slightly more promising. Let's just view the wireframe to check the topology. Yep, looking all even. Very nice. Okay, and then this diffuse looks pretty good as well. Okay, now let's start doing the... Oh, actually, number one, we have to shift it up because we want the flat bit at the bottom as well. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to... It's actually incredibly simple. So vector math, so we're going to add an add in vector math. No, oh dear. I'll just add a vector math because that's the default operation. Vector math, and I will just shift it up, so that's X, that's Y, that's Z. And I'll shift it up like that, which is very splendid. Looks a lot better now, in my opinion. There we go. Okay, there we go, that's our bun. And now we are going to give it this effect with the sesame seeds on top. Number one, we're going to just fill out the basic colours. So here we go. Right. So this diffuse, I'm going to change that to a principal BSDF simply just because we have a few more options. Yeah, I think I will. And number one, as a bit of a cheat really, I think I may be adding a little bit of sheen. So sheen is something that's on cushions, but it looks pretty good on burgers. Yeah, anyway, would a burger have subsurface? I suppose basically everything does, so I'll just add a 0.001 and I'll just add a little bit of maybe something sort of orangish. To be honest, I think that's going to kill my computer and it's not worth it, so I'm going to just do 0 on that. Anyway, so what we're going to do is, you see here, if we just inspect our burger, we have cracks here. So actually, if I get my annotation brush, where is that? Here. So we have cracks like this here, and on here and stuff. We have our sesame seeds, obviously. And also, can you see, there's quite a clear gradient from these burnt bits around here and the whitish bits at the bottom when the dough gets slightly less dense. Or there's just sort of extra bits on the bottom, basically. So what we're going to try and do is try and recreate that. And so let's just get rid of my horrible sketches. So you go to, what do you go to? I can't remember. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually take our Z gradient you see here, and that's already giving us a sort of mask which we can use to distinguish where we want our burnt bits and where we want our slightly lighter bits. So that is brilliant because we can actually take that, we can put that through a mix RGB. So we're basically wanting to mix colours together and use this reroute node that we had before and plug that into our mix as the factor. So it's going to tell Blender where to put each colour. So you see nothing's happening because the colours are the same. And so if I turn that to something like yellowish, actually no, don't do that. I'm going to use this eyedropper tool here to actually sample the colours from our reference image. So something like that. And then colour 2 is going to be the burnt bits, like that. So now we have something like that. You want to keep it fairly subtle, and actually, what should I do? I think I will add a colour ramp. So a colour ramp is sort of the same thing as a map range, but just displayed a bit more visually. And I will, you see that's changing where this is. I'll just bring this up a bit more, so, and set it to B-spline, because that's what you do. And now you see we're getting something a little bit nicer. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add a noise texture. This is our big boy noise texture, so we're not going to be adding any more noise textures at all to our node group, because it really does, it saves a lot of computing power basically, because Blender's having to recalculate, actually I shouldn't even do that, it'll crash Blender, but it's basically having to recalculate operations every single time you do anything, so it's not very clever. In fact, because it is such a special node, I'm going to give it its own colour. I know, I'm so kind. Looks just right. Ah, thank you, Abby. So now we have an even more disgusting colour choice. As you know, I am very good at that. Choosing. Anyway, so let's get rid of that. So we're going to add a colour ramp, which you obviously have seen before. And now we can choose which colours we want. So because not all of the things are burnt at the top, we're going to add a noise texture and then work out where we want the burnt bits and where we don't. So you see, if we bring in these blacks, you see we get some slightly more strange looking results. And we're going to set it to B-spline for a bit of a smoother look like that. We're going to eyedrop this as the very burnt colour and maybe even exaggerate that a tiny bit more. So bring that down, and then we're going to get this this colour picker, this I don't know what to call it, and we will do it on something like this. There we go. I think that's a bit too... I think we want to make it look a bit more subtle, because photorealism is all about the subtle... I forgot what I was going to say. You know what I mean, though. We can change the scale of our noise texture, and while we're at it, we can add a value node for even more proceduralness. So we can just name this value node scale. Where is it? There we go. So there we go, scale. So now that's called scale, and I'm going to give it the best colour ever, blue. That's not true, purple is the best colour, the purple is the best colour. Sorry, got a bit carried away there. Anyway, so here we have that, the scale looks just right. I'm going to turn down the roughness so we have a slightly more blobby look. And now we're going to put this mix into our base colour. Hang on. Factor, yes. And now we're going to view that principled BSDF. And it's looking pretty fancy. I don't know what's happened here. I think that's looking... I think I need to turn up the strength of my HDRI just to make it a bit more apparent. So let's do 0.9. As I say, I have a pretty slow computer, so it takes a while to process, but you know, that's alright. So this is our mask, separating them. And actually, I think we need to... Oh dear. I think we need to do something more like that. Yep. Actually, I'm just going to add a math node. And I'm going to multiply that for a bit more effect. So let's do multiply by 4. No, that's a bit too harsh. 3, 2, 0. That's even better. No. Here we go. No, that's way too harsh. Let's use our B-spline curves then. I don't think B-spline is actually the best interpolation. Let's use ease. I was trying to find a joke there, but I couldn't find it. Cardinal. I honestly don't know what these things mean mathematically, but I sort of know what... No, that's a lie. I honestly don't know what these are. I just like messing around with them. Linear. Maybe do that, and maybe get rid of the multiply, actually. Yeah, I think that'll do a bit better. So we're going to turn that... There we go. I'm going to bring that down. There we go. Okay. So now let's view that. I think the sheen is a bit too high. What's that doing? What's happening there? I don't know why it's suddenly... well, let's have a look at this first. Yeah, that's way too harsh. Can't we just turn down the... Hang on, that's the factor, so we can... No, we want to... We want to flip this colour ramp. We want to flip it. Saturation. And then we want to flip that as well. There we go. Okay, that'll do for now. And actually, let's just make that slightly darker, ever so slightly though. There we go. I wonder what the... I think the detail should come up to something like 4. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Okay. Now let's go back to our BSDF. Let's have a look at that. I promise you it'll look a bit better after we have the cracks and the sesame seeds. So let's move on to the cracks, because this is my favourite part. Because I get to use my favourite friend, Voronoi, or however you pronounce it. We're going to use distance to edge, which is just a mathematical equation which gives us this epicness. Anyway, So what number one, we're gonna add a map range, and we're just gonna play around, and we're going to mix this with our displacement that we've done before, so we get these cool cracks. So what we're gonna do, set the max. Sorry, no, here we go. Nope, that's not gonna do anything, obviously. What is happening? This is suddenly not working at all. Let's just Control Z. Okay, here we go. Updating lights. Take your time, Blender. Take your time. There we go. Okay, so you see here we have this. And we have... There we go. That's some good cracks. And now we're just going to scale that up a little bit. You see, if we set it to no randomness at all, it's going to be following these text coordinates. We want it completely random. Because have you ever seen a not random burger? Well, unless they're made in 3D, no. Unless, well, actually you can get completely spherical pumpkins, and there's actually a world record for that. Anyway, moving on. So, number one, we don't want the cracks all around, we just want them around there, because that is, I don't know why. Actually, what we want is we want bigger cracks around this bit here, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, oh dear, we're going to take our text coordinates and we're going to add something called a length node. Actually no, forget that. We're just going to use the Z coordinates once again, and we're going to Shift A and we're going to add a reroute, plug that in there, and then the reason why I'm doing this is because oh, hello just 3D things, hello. I'm making a burger still because I failed yesterday. Anyway, so, right then. Number one, so basically what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try and make the scale of our Voronoi, I honestly don't know how to say it. We want to make it bigger at the top and smaller at the bottom. And also we want to change the influence of it around as well. So we're going to get, what is it, a length? Yes, it would be a length. So a length is basically an operation which takes our texture coordinates, well, it takes our origin and it basically gives us the value of the, I think it's the height, the magnitude, the scale, basically everything, so we can mess around with it. And that is not what I intended. Oh yeah, because I wasn't going to use the length node. I decided, but I forgot. So this here, we're going to take it through a map range once again. Here we go. Oh wow, you are working on layered. Yes, I'm still doing layered. Oh yeah, I really liked your stream yesterday with the, is it the mountains one? Yeah, that was really cool. And you used like a cool texture coordinate, which meant you got like parallax in the in your painting, which was even cooler. Anyway, map range. So gonna take this. We're going to, I think we want to invert it. So minus 2.8. I want that lower than, what am I doing? Hello there, Joshua. Hi Joshua. I'm making a burger. Anyway. Okay, here we have this. Okay, instead, just because I find it a little easier, I'm going to be using another colour ramp. Obviously, this isn't as procedural, but whatever. We're going to take this, we're going to flip it, and now we have something that we want. Make it a bit more like that, and here is a value which we're going to try and use to input as the scale of the Voronoi. So we're going to take this and see what happens when we plug that into the scale. Something terribly wrong is going to happen, as expected, but hopefully if we add something like a multiply, this is going to get smaller. Okay, it looks like it's working, but there are just some stretching issues, which is not very good. Put in chat if you have any idea how to solve this stretching issue. Let's, number one, get rid of that. Reroute. No, let's plug that into there to be even more productive. Why would that work? Why would that? What is happening? Could we cheat? Could we just add a vector math and then, oh no, not a vector transform, a vector math. Could we just adjust the z-axis? Seems like that's gonna work. Hi Gabe, wow. oh my word. That's literally like Gabe, so Gabe, Curtis Holt, and Just 3D Things. So like my favourite procedural artists are all watching. Hello all. I'm making a burger and I'm trying to work on the sesame seeds and the cracks at the top, basically. Anyway, here we go. Trying to solve the. Wow, my Wait, is that Arendelle? So that's all of them now. Or no, maybe I've missed some. But hello Arendelle, if that's how you pronounce it. Hopefully I pronounce it correctly. Anyway, right. Right then. Okay. Good evening to you too, sir. I'm just going to check if the audio is fine. Yeah, it's doing pretty well, actually. Anyway. I think I'm probably going to try and get the sesame seeds and the cracks, and then I will finish the stream for today, because it is getting pretty late where I am. Right. Oh, sorry, I need to turn off my volume on my phone. Okay, instead I'm going to add a mapping node, because it just gives off even more control. Okay, scale on the Z. I'll make that a bit bigger. Okay. I'm just adjusting it. I think that's probably the best I'm going to do. And I'm also going to take this value and add a mix RGB node. Put that through there and then plug that in as the factor. Plug that and then put that there. So I've done that wrong, haven't I? I need to put that in the bottom socket. There we go. Right. So if I just turn this up, then I should be getting... What have I done? So this is the threshold. This is the factor. That's the multiply. Oh, what have I done now? What has happened? I'm taking the mapping from... Oh, I have to look through here. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So that's actually pinching now. So if we put that down to 2 or 3. No, now everything's linear. No. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's see how this works with the burger. So I think, hopefully I'm doing this correctly, but if we added geometry, I may be doing this wrong, but if we add the geometry, I cannot speak, the geometry and the normal here, wait, would I be using true normal, in fact? I'll just use the normal, see how it goes. We're basically sort of adding our our normal displacement with our vector displacement. So what I hopefully this is going to work, but if I add a vector math, true normal just ignores smooth. Yeah, that's what I worked out, because like literally if I just do true normal and I press shade smooth, it doesn't care one bit, does it? No. Anyway, vector math, and hopefully if I just add these two, then that's good. So now, if we use this here, what's happened here? Oh, we use that as a map range. Fair enough. Bring that down. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that. We're going to plug that normal into the plug that normal into there. What am I going to do? Oh, I just seen Gabe has posted on Twitter. That'll be interesting. I'll look at it in a sec. Okay. Here's on. Would we just add them together? Yeah, that is the question. Okay. It's looking pretty promising. And then if we add a math multiply just to divide. Let's just do multiply. Here we go. I think it's doing something, whatever it's doing. Math, let's just change that to divide. Here we go. Okay, and let's have a look at our topology. Thought so. Thought it was going to look horrible. Anyway, divide, and I'm just going to divide that by... make that slightly less. Here we go. It's all coming together. I mean, it isn't really coming together, but at least that thing. Go away, whatever that is. Never seen that before. Oh dear. I've just used my... Okay, here we go. So... is there any... just as a question for all of the procedural geniuses in the chat. Would there be a more procedural way to sort of make it so I can add these two together? That is my question, and I obviously need to turn down my dicing scale to 0.5 or something, and hopefully it won't crash the stream, because that is what my computer likes doing most of the time. Okay. Okay, I can see that... Okay, wireframe. Okay, that's the wireframe. It looks like it's sort of slanting like that. I think that's just what it does, but... you're using a scalar divide there. Oh, whoops. Well, that explains it. Anyway. Shift S. No, let's just get rid of that. Okay. Vector. Vector math. So would I use a vector divide? Oh, right. Did you want a vector math node to stop the slanting? Yes, that would be very handy, Arendelle. Here we go. How would I be able to stop the slanting? Because, yeah, that's a problem. And I also want to... Okay, I want to get rid of the displacement. I just want to put that in there. Okay, I want to just make that slightly less. Zoom out a little. Okay, this is my node. I'll just show you. This is my node thingy. It's actually rather small. Anyway. This is my node graph, sorry. I think I have like a 15-second buffer. But there's my everything, and also it's not particularly neat, is it? Whatever. Sorry, I think I have like a... yeah, exactly. I have a 15-second buffer, exactly. Okay, now you've got that, I'm going to carry on and then wait for your reply. Oh, you have the map range going into a vector add node, which is the only bit I can see that's going to make it slant. So I have the map range. Oh, is that when I tried to cheat? Is that this thing? Into vector add. I think that add should be a scale. Yeah, that could be, that's probably why. Oh, whoops. No, don't go. Okay. Math. Next to the principal. Oh, sorry, not. Okay, next to the principal node. Where's that? Oh, this here. Okay. This one here. Okay. Well, I'll add a little math then. Yeah, I'm not particularly good with remembering if I have to do scalar or the other one. I can't even remember the name now. Now let's have a look at that. What's happening here? Okay. Here we have that. Then we add it with normal. Yes, I think that should be scale on the vector math node. Thank you, Arundel. Okay, let's have a look at that now. Let's just look at it with this. Okay. Now the stretching has come back. Or is that just because... Okay, let's change this a little bit. Okay, great. Okay, so now I will... Okay, so here we go. Let's plug the fuse back in. I will be stopping in just a second, just because it's getting quite late. Anyway, divide, turn that down. Is that stopping? That looks like it is stopping the slanting. Thank you. That's great. What's happening now? I think I've done something bad with this. No. I do not want that to happen, and now I've just crashed Blender. Here we go. Oh, sorry. If you take that math node and switch it to a vector math node, and the mode to be scale. So which one would that be? Oh, to scale. Scale. Oh, yes. Would it? I think that would be that. Is that correct? If we look at it from the add you just put in there from the normal. Oh, so sorry. Okay, so right, we're almost there. So we plug the divide into here. Okay. And then we change this to scale. Is that even a thing? I thought that was just a vector math thing. Scale, scale. I don't think it's on here. I think do you mean a vector math? Vector math. Make it vector math instead. Oh yeah, of course, because there wouldn't be a scalar vector. Sorry, a scalar, you know what I mean. Vector math, and then scale. Here we go. Plug that as the scale. Hey, woo! Thank you. Okay, now that looks like it's properly working. Even better. Okay, and those are some very harsh cracks. Actually, we want that to be the opposite. So, okay, let's just have a look at this first. Burger and heart. Exactly, Curtis. Exactly. Who doesn't like burgers? Okay, we want to make that slightly less. Okay. Now let's have a look. Okay. That is good. Let's just divide this a bit more. Is there any way that I can stop the slanting? You see here, I've just got a lot of stretching, and I'm not particularly sure why. I think I'm going to be leaving that for there for now. It doesn't look much like the burger at all. But you know, we got pretty far. I'm going at quite a slow pace. Yeah, just like this is all we got done today. But yep, I'm still learning, so I'm going at quite a slow pace. Anyway, so thank you for watching. And thank you for helping me out, everybody. Have a great day, or evening, or night, or whatever, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.